Hey cousins! How's your mind? How's your body? How's your heart? I hope that you're doing well. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, and welcome to one of my favorite videos in the booktube community. I love TBR videos, and this one is very special because this one is particularly close to my heart. We are going to be doing my April TBR for the Magical Readathon, which I've been participating in as long as I've been a booktuber. Forever. I was participating in the Magical Readathon when it was Harry Potter themed, and now I'm still participating, and I'm super excited to talk to y'all about all the books that I'm planning on reading in the month of April. Definitely delusional, but it's okay. We can be delusional together. Like, if we're delusional together, I feel like that's better than just me being delusional by myself. I think that makes sense. It makes sense to me. The Magical Readathon was created by G from Book Roast. I will link her channel down below, as well as the announcement for the spring equinox and the where to start video. So I'll link all that down below for you. All you have to do is go into the description, click on it. It will take you to the video and you'll be good to go, okay? Because me trying to explain it all to you will literally be so much of a waste of time, and I won't do it as well as G does it because she's gorgeous and she's very smart and it's very creative. I highly suggest you check it out. Nevertheless, though, the Magical Readathon is going through the whole month of April, and we have like a goal. We're trying to beat like some page count or book count or whatever the case be. Doesn't matter. I'm participating anyways, and we are being delusional while doing so. We're going to go ahead and get started, but I do also want to preface this by saying that I will not be pulling any prompts from my prompt jar. I will not be pulling any prompt cards, and I will not be pulling any books out of my fish jar. It's just impossible. That's impossible. I already have a pile of books I need to talk about, another calling that I'm hoping to successfully do, and yeah, so we're gonna see. Calling that I'm gonna talk about, so calling that I do every year. I try to do the hardest calling every year just because I like a challenge, and so far I've been able to successfully handle it. But this year we're gonna see, because at this point I've been doing this a couple years in a row, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it off. On top of that, I'm doing a second calling in which that TBR was made with my community during Sunday reading sprints, which was so much fun, by the way. I had so much fun doing that. That one's only 3 books, while my main calling is 10 books, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. The calling that I do every year and the calling that I will be doing this year as well is the Alchemist calling. I'll put it up right here. Every single prompt that I'm going to be fulfilling, I will put up on the screen as well. The Alchemist calling is by far the hardest calling because it has the most books that you have to read in the month of April, as well as the month of September, which is the autumn equinox. So we got a lot of books to talk about. Let's get cracking. I apologize if the lighting has changed. I had to wait because my camera was overheating. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and get started. The first prompt that I'm going to talk about for the Alchemist calling is alchemy, obviously, which is all capitals in the book title. For that, I'm going to go with a book that was recommended to me by my good friend Paco from Bad Witch Books. He said, "Princess, this book is amazing and you need to read it." And I was like, okay, cool, say less. That is Immortal by Sue Lan Tan. So this book is set in the same world as her duology, Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and the second one, I don't know what the second one's called. From what Paco said, these are not connected, so I'm okay to read this even though I haven't read the second book in that duology. So I don't know anything about this outside of the fact that he really enjoyed it, so I will be reading it. This is the exclusive edition that I got from Waterstones with the sprayed pages. I am looking forward to it because, for one, it's gorgeous, and for two, if he said he liked it, he said he was kicking his feet and squealing and everything, then I gotta jump on it as well. So this will be the book for alchemy. The next prompt that we're gonna talk about is animal studies, and for that the prompt is to steal a book from another TBR. When the video was released by G about the spring equinox, we all got together as friends in Discord. We do this every time and we talk about our TBRs. This book is on the TBR of Paco's, as well as this is a series that we'll be reading together because I haven't finished it. So I'm going to put the first book onto the TBR and be smart, double, tripling up in the sense of I was going to read this book anyways. It's on his TBR already, and we're reading it together. And that book is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mulherin. So this is a book number 1 in this trilogy. I've read this book so long ago and loved it. This is the arc of it. I do have the Fairy Loot editions of these. I am looking forward to rereading this and finally finishing out the series. Not only will I be finishing out the series, but I'm finishing out with friends. So I'm looking forward to it. This book follows 2 different perspectives, one of which is Lou, who's a witch. The other one is Reed, right? I think it's Reed. Reed, who is a witch hunter. Due to some unforeseen circumstances, they end up getting married. They can't stand each other. Lou knows he's a witch hunter, but Reed doesn't know she's a witch. You know, the whole trope, hate to love, so forth and so forth. So I'm looking forward to rereading this and continue on with the series. So this will be for animal studies. The next prompt that we are going to go over is astronomy, and that is a color wheel. I'm going to input the clipping that I got for this color wheel. And the funny thing about this is that the color that it landed on, literally everybody in the Discord chat was like, what if it lands on this color, knowing damn well that princess can't stand this fucking color. And it did. It landed on orange. I can't stand orange. It's not a color that is pleasing to me at all. I had a stack of orange books and I went to my husband and was like, choose one. And he chose this book because he's read this book. I didn't think I was ready for it, but obviously I have no choice because he chose it. He chose The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I love R.F. Kuang. We all know this at this point. I am like by far her #1 fan, by far her #1 fangirl. Like, I love her so, so much. So this book is a historical fantasy, and it's centered around the rape of Nanking, I believe, but it has like a fantasy overlay to it. I know that this is very hard-hitting fantasy. I know that there's like some stuff that goes on in this that I'm gonna have to like mentally be prepared for. I know that there's one chapter in particular that everybody tells me to look out for. But I'm finally going to go ahead and start this. I have not started that. This is the only series that I have not read by her. I say series. I read everything else by R.F. Kuang besides this. That's the point. And I'm looking forward to her new release that's coming in August, October? 1 or 2, I'm not exactly sure. But nevertheless, husband picked this, so I will be reading this finally. And hopefully over the next couple months, I'll be reading the other 2 as well. The next prompt that we're going to go over is demonology. And the prompt for that is a book with a missing person. So I finagled this a little bit. Just a tiny bit, because I really want to read this series and I want to read this book in preparation for Y'all West. There will be some Y'all West prep videos coming out, so keep a lookout for that. If you don't know what Y'all West is, side point for a second. If you don't know what Y'all West is, it's a book event that happens every year in California. It's in Santa Monica. It's at Santa Monica High School, and it's a YA book event. And a whole bunch of YA authors come. They do panels. They sign books. Like, you get arcs. I've gone every year for the past 4, 5, maybe 6 years. So I'm looking forward to going this year, and this author will be there, and I'm looking forward to seeing her. And I have not finished this trilogy, so I definitely need to. So this is a part of my Y'all West prep, as well as I just wanted to get this book in. So this is how I'm finagling this in. The book I'm talking about is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. So technically speaking, does this have a missing person in it? Yes, to me. Okay, so this follows a princess who is vowed to get married to a prince of a neighboring kingdom for these 2 kingdoms to be connected and such, right? She decides that she does not want to get married to him, so she runs off. In that sense, then, she is missing. Because then the prince, along with this assassin, is now trying to hunt her down and find her. The prince, because it's like, yo, we were talking, I thought we were good, we were going to get married for our kingdoms. And then the assassin is like, I don't want these 2 kingdoms to be combined, so he's after her as well. And you get the perspective of all 3 people, and you don't know with the 2 guys, you don't know which one's which. You don't know which one's a prince and which one is the assassin. So I really enjoyed The Kiss of Deception when I read it the first time. I did not like the second book. So that's how I'm playing this in, okay? She is missing technically because the prince is looking for her. That's what I'm gonna go with. That's what I'm gonna go with. And you hear me say prince because I don't want to spoil it. If you've read these and stuff, like, not knowing which one is which is like the juiciest part of the book. And I really, really enjoyed The Kiss of Deception. I know that it's like an older YA fantasy at this point, but it's really, really good. And I hope that it holds up. I haven't read it in a while, so we'll definitely see. Next, we have elemental studies, and the prompt for that is fruit on the cover, right? So I'm finagling this one as well because there is no fruit on the cover, but the word fruit is on the cover. I'm going with Fruits Baskets. This is collector's edition number 1. I have 7 of these, I believe. And I read this like some years ago and I was totally lost. Like, I was having a hard time keeping up with the cast of characters. So what I'm hoping to do is to read this and then start watching the anime. So hopefully things kind of like tie in together, hopefully. But we'll definitely see. Nevertheless, this follows a girl who's, I want to say, her mother passed or something. And so then she's like living in the woods. I don't know what happened to her father, but she's living in the woods. And then these 2 guys that she goes to school with say, yeah, you can come live with us. But they have some secret, some power or something that's tied into the astronomy and such. That's all I remember, okay? It's fine. It's a manga. It's fairly long, but I really need to read these. So this is me trying to be a little easier on myself, okay? I found other books that had like fruits on the cover, but I was like, fruit is literally on the cover. Fruit is on the cover. So it works. I feel like it works. It's my TBR at the end of the day. The next prompt that we're doing is spells and incantations, and the prompt for this is word from your last book title. So at this point that I'm filming this is 25th of March. And as of right now, I am actively writing notes and tabbing up Throne of Glass, right? So I believe by the time the month is up, I should be able to mark that book as read. Because the only reason I haven't marked it as read, even though I'm done reading it, is because I'm tabbing it up. So I don't want to mark it as read yet, which is a reread for me anyways. I'm also reading Fairyborn and Silver in the Bone or something like that. I'm reading a couple things is the point. But what I'm trying to tie into this book that I'm going to talk about is the of section of Throne of Glass. So the book that I'm going to put onto the TBR is Heir of Fire. So hear me out. You heard me just say that I am actively tabbing up Throne of Glass, which means I still have to reread and tab up Crown of Midnight. Heir of Fire is after Crown of Midnight. So, you know, this one is on my TBR, but I still need to get to this one first, which will be fine. I'm just going to put, I'm going to put Crown of Midnight over here. But we're using the of. We're using the of. Okay, that's the point. So this is book number 3. This is book number 3, not including the Assassin's Blade. If we're including the Assassin's Blade, which I have already read, then this is book number 4. But of the Throne of Glass series, I don't need to go into it. You already know what Throne of Glass is about, so it's fine. But yeah, that is on here for spells and incantations. The next prompt that we're gonna do is Artifice. Look, don't start with me. The prompt is to check the time at the time of day and such. You have to find a title with the same number of letters as the number that was the time. At that point in time, it was roughly about 12 o'clock or so when I started to do this TBR. So for that prompt, I am going to be putting a historical fiction on my TBR. I haven't read historical fiction forever, like literally forever. But I will be reading Katherine of Aargon, the True Queen. So the True Queen is 12 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that is why I'll be going with this. I did go ahead and get this as an ebook because there's no way that I'm going to be carrying around this big ass hardcover, but I will be reading this. This is book number 1 in the 6 Tudor Queens series by Alison Ware, and this goes into obviously King Henry VIII's first wife being Katherine of Aargon. Of all the wives, right? Of all the wives, I feel like the wife that was done the dirtiest was Katherine of Aargon. I'm looking forward to seeing what Alison Ware is doing with Katherine's story and to see how much different it is compared to other things that I've read or whatever the case may be. So I'm looking forward to it. And historical fiction. I got hella fucking fantasy on here, so this works. Okay, next. The next prompt we're doing is Inscription, and for this I was supposed to pick 3 books and then read the first sentence to the 3 books and then choose whichever one that I thought was the best. I technically did this twice because I'm doing another calling, which I'll talk about in a moment. But for this one, I pulled 3 different books. I forgot what 3 it was, but one of which, and the one that I chose to go with, is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I believe I chose 3 from my spring TBR video, which I did a whole spring TBR video. I'll link that down below and up top for you. And I decided to go with this one. because the one that I wanted to go with, I actually read in the month of March. So there's that. But anyways, this is one of the last books I need to read in her chemistry STEM major romance books. I love Allie Hazelwood. I'm a huge fan of Allie Hazelwood. I've talked about this already in the spring TBR, so I'm not going to talk about it here, but I'm looking forward to reading this and to have like a little fluffy romance book with all the other books I got going on. This is going to be like just a little treat for me, so I'm pumped. Our second to last prompt we have is lore. The prompt for that is a musical term in the title. So for this, I decided to go a little outside of the box and go with the word muse instead of like, because I feel like people use muses all the time for like musically talented people use muses, and that's in songs and all that good stuff. So that's why I'm doing that. And I'm actually going to put a book on here that I bought so long ago that I've never read, but I'm interested to read. And that is The Whispering Muse by Laura Purcell? I think it's Purcell. This is spooky from what it says, and I believe it has something to do with like a theater and trying to find out why somebody's really good, and this actress is trying to embody this Greek mythology goddess and all that good stuff or whatever. So I'm looking forward to reading this. All it says down here, it says superstition, obsession, and tragedy. Of course, you know, you have to have all three of those when dealing with anything theater related. So I'm looking forward to this, and it's fairly short. So hopefully this will go by quickly because I need something to go by quickly here. Last but not least, we have Restoration. The prompt for that is a book with a 4+ star rating on whatever rating app you're using, whether that be Goodreads, Storygraph, whatever it can be. For that, I'm going with another book that was on my spring TBR, and that is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. I am looking forward to reading this because it's another romantasy, if I'm not mistaken. It's like I was saying romantasy because I believe it's like fantasy and romance, so romantasy, but I'm not exactly sure. What this is giving me is very much like Phantom of the Opera, but I don't think that's the case. On the back it says Phantasma only has 2 rules: stay alive and don't fall in love. So I'm looking forward to reading this along with everything else. So yeah, I will be reading that. Here are all the books that I will be reading for the month of April for the Alchemist Calling. On the screen you will see a page count as well as a daily page count for me to be done with these books for the 30 days in April. I am looking forward to all of these, but the one I'm looking forward to probably the most would have to be Katherine of Aargon or Love on the Brain. Like, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to all these. With that being said, we're going to go over quickly the second calling that I will be doing thanks to my community from Sunday Reading Sprints, and that is the Mathmagician calling. I'll put it up on the screen. And that calling only has 3 prompts, so 3 books. The first one is Alchemy, which is a book with all caps again. So for that, we chose The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. This is a thriller because I wanted to make it a little difficult. I don't know why. Don't ask me questions. But I wanted to make this difficult. So what I was thinking was, okay, if we're going to be picking books for this prompt, they cannot be fantasy. So we had that prompt and extra challenge of not fantasy. So we went with this one, which is a thriller. And that's literally all I know about it, is that it's a thriller. I like Simone St. James writing, so I'm hoping that this one goes quickly. And it's the book of the month, so I can get through it, get it gone, all that good stuff, and hopefully really enjoy myself. I just hope that there's no ghost or anything, because I can't do a ghost at the moment. Next, we have Inscription, and I want to say we did 5 books, but the book that ended up winning out and is a book that's on the other TBR anyway, so I was like, might as well just throw it on this one as well, and that is Phantasma. So we're going with Phantasma for this prompt as well. It's on both TBRs, which is fine, because when I read it, I'll be knocking out both callings. Last but not least, we have Photonic? I have no idea. I don't know. And Divination. Look, don't judge me. And that is a book with witches or the occult. And for this, I let Paco choose the book because he is our well-known witchy person that is going to be in the forest, in a cottage, putting spells on motherfuckers. So I was like, Paco, go ahead and choose a book for me. And he chose, of course, Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. So I'm finally looking forward to reading this. This is one of his favorite books. So I know that this has witches, and I know that this deals with two guys, I think. So I think there's like a male romance, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not exactly sure. But nevertheless, I'm excited to finally get to this as well. And hopefully I like it, because I don't want Popcorn to not be my friend because I don't like it. So those are all of the books that is on my April TBR for the Magical Readathon. Is it going to happen? I don't know. We'll definitely see, because that's a lot of books and that's a lot of pages, but I am hopeful that I can get this all done, because I'm hoping that I use reading as a getaway for what's going on in the month of April. I don't really have much really going on. There is the LA Times event, which is at USC, which is at the end of April, as well as my English class starts at the end of April. So hopefully I could just like keep my head down, get things done, read as many books as I possibly can. I'm definitely going to try to put myself on some type of schedule where every day at a certain time I'm reading a set amount of pages a day, as well as playing video games, because obviously I love playing video games. So I'm looking forward to doing all that. But nevertheless, those are all the books. I will make sure I put all the books down below for you, and anybody I mentioned, any video I mentioned, whatever the case would be, I'll leave that all down there for you as well. So thank you so much for being here. Let me know if you are participating in a Magical Readathon. Let me know if you put out a TBR video, because you know I'll watch the fuck out of that. And if you have nothing to add, for whatever reason, you're welcome to put up a, let's do like some type of like beaker or something for the Alchemist calling. I'll put something up right here, and hopefully you can copy it. But you're welcome to leave that in the comments instead if you don't have anything to say, which is totally fine by me, and I'll use an emoji to comment back as well. Awesome. Okay, great. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. Please have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in my next one. Okay, cool. Bye.